What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Paulie Malignaggi, Jared Anderson. Get this. Paulie Malignaggi questioned heavyweight, breaking down in tears. He states that it's a red flag. And this is what Paulie said. He said he's got the biggest potential, especially on the American scene. But potential does not always fulfill itself. But yes, I'm one of the ones expecting him to do great. But here's the thing. There is a couple red flags. He said this. He said, I wasn't really into him crying. But hey, that can be a moment in the emotions. But you take that then and take the fact that he only wants to fight for 3 or 4 more years. And you start to think, dude, does this guy even like boxing? You can't be the future of anything you don't like. You're never going to put an extra mile and an extra time in the gym on the way up. That passion is everything. Those are the words of Paulie Malignaggi, and let me counterpunch. You know, believe it or not, I am rooting for Jared Anderson. Big baby, I am rooting for him because he's pretty much like our last American hope. Let's be real. Because Deontay Wilder, he may never be champion again. He may. But then again, he only has 2 more years and he hasn't even fought this year. So, you know, the up-and-coming guys on the American platform, on American soil, is Jared Anderson. You know what I mean? It ain't Charles Martin, it ain't Andy Ruiz. Those guys have done what they're going to do in the sport of boxing, right? But it did make me wonder when he did break down in tears. Now, the blessing of it all, he was with the right guy. He was with Roy. So let's just say this. He felt comfortable enough with Roy to express himself how he really felt. But then there's the thing. What Paulie was talking about, the fighting 3 or 4 years and the pressure, him mentioning pressure, and I'm on 23 and people expect all this shit out of me. That's not a person that seems like he does like the sport. So I do agree with Paulie. It's a bad look. It's a really bad look that a guy like Jared Anderson that has that much ability and talent, okay, is talking as though he's looking at the end before going through the journey. You know, if you're looking at the destination before you're going through the journey, it's something about the journey that you don't like. You know what I mean? You have to be in love with what you do. Okay? Because if you're only looking for the end result, you're going to want to skip a step. And I do agree. You know, he may be one of those guys that maybe, based on what we saw, him breaking down with emotion, you know, that may be some type of expression of doubt, okay, when it comes to a guy crying like that. And he was crying saying like, dude, I'm 23. I've been doing this shit so long. Dude, you haven't got to even where you need to be. You know what I'm saying? You're a potential, and yes, you're headlined at this point, but you are not there yet. You are not been challenged by somebody that, like, wait a minute, I don't know if Jared can beat this guy yet. So if, you know, even before, this was before the Charles Martin fight, and Charles Martin was a stand-in for another dude, you're right, that fell through, another fight that fell through. So, you know, him saying that, it doesn't look good. It does not look good. You know what I mean? And it's good that Paulie pointed it out because it may mean something one day. I hope it don't. But it may mean something one day with Jared Anderson because it may be getting in a situation because we've seen him shaky. We've seen him rocked. We've seen his legs jiggly when he got hit with Charles Martin. And Charles Martin is a guy, yeah, he's a pretty good puncher. He's a big dude, but he ain't got that Joshua power. He ain't got that Wilder power. He ain't got even that Ortiz power. You know what I mean? Ortiz is shot as shit. But, you know, it just shows you what happens. What happens really when somebody presses him and somebody really takes it to Jared Anderson? You know what I mean? Does the going get tough, or does the tough get going? That's what you ask yourself with Jared. Because it's like, okay, well, you would seem like a guy that's in love with it is going to give it what he needs to show he has heart and balls. But Will he show us that? We don't know, based on, man, I just want to fight a few more years and I want to get out of the sport of boxing. It doesn't look promising to somebody, because if you were a betting man, or, if you bet on the fact, would he be a quitter? Would he have what it takes? Sure, yeah, you got hit with a shot or two by Charles Martin. What happens when you get hit with 3 or 4 of them? You know what I mean? How do you buckle back? That experience gap is not there, okay? Because he ain't been to the ground and had to get up and fight through adversity. You know what I mean? Now, so we look at that. If that happens, we look back at shit. That shit he did with Roy was pretty much a cry for help, like saying, yo, I don't want to do this shit no more. It may be one of those situations, but I hope it ain't. I hope I'm wrong. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Paulie Malignaggi stating that there were some red flags with Jared Big Baby Anderson. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!